Alright, in this one, we're going to be talking about Marvel Spider-Man 2 again. We're going to be talking about the hidden symbiote mechanic that I think a lot of people are missing. I've only seen this like a handful of times on Twitter. People, of course, sending me screenshots and showing me things that they've been seeing. And I personally think that they are actually onto something. There is some merit to this actual theory. Now, before we get into this video, if you could drop a like. We got 700 likes on the last video. So if we could get like 400 on this one, you guys killed it with that goal. I think that you guys can do it for this one. I really do appreciate it. And if you're new, go ahead and subscribe as well. So this literally is the first thing that we see when we actually start up the gameplay reveal for Marvel Spider-Man 2. When you look at the top right, technically it's your guys' left, but if you look at my right, essentially is the logo up there at the very top, right next to the focus bars underneath the health bar and whatnot, and that actually could be the way that you can switch between the symbiote and the red and blue suit. Now, of course, if you look at Miles's type of health bar in his HUD, he doesn't have that. Why doesn't Miles have that, huh? It's kind of very suspicious that Peter has that. It's a black, of course, background with a white logo, and then Miles just doesn't have that for any reason. So it's very suspicious. I think that the thing that's going on here is that Miles already has an ability like that. And I think that they could actually borrow that asset from Miles in the way that he actually goes into his camouflage. When you look at the camouflage footage, when he does that, it almost is like they're setting up the way that Peter can just do that and then transform into the symbiote suit, and it's very likely that that's what they're going to be doing for this game. Like, I am so certain that that is a possibility that's going to be happening within this freaking game, because Web of Shadows has that type of feature. Why wouldn't this game have it too? You have two different gameplay mechanics. It expands the gameplay way more than the first game, because now you have the symbiote, and you could alternate between the red and blue suit or the black suit. You could use those suits for different situations and different scenarios, and I really think that this is going to be incredibly fascinating to see, because of course all they need to do is have you hit the D-pad in the top, the freaking up D-pad, just like the camouflage, and you transform into the symbiote suit. It is freaking perfect, and I love the fact that it's right out of the view, like you can barely even see it. I can also see them doing something along the lines of having you save your focus bars from each suit. So when you have the symbiote suit, you have your own focus bars that do your own finishers and have your own abilities and stuff like that. When you switch to the red and blue suit, then you have those abilities, and the focus bars that you had from the black symbiote suit, of course, save up for later so you can use them later on. And then you save up more for the red and blue suit. So in total, you have like 6 focus bars, and you could just run through enemies. Like, you could literally just push finisher, 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 switch to the symbiote suit, finisher, 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 and oh man, that shit would be incredible. I know so many people would love that. And again, it opens up the gameplay so much. Like, again, if you have the red and blue suit with its own mechanics, its own thing with the arms, it's like the complete opposite of what we've seen with the symbiote. It's perfect. You have so much game that you can cover with this. And I really think that, you know, overall, even though it's not confirmed yet, it's been hinted at the gameplay. I mean, like, if you look at the gameplay, when he burst out of Connor's house, you literally see him transform from the red and blue suit to the black suit. And it's such a weird little touch, right? They're trying to make it seem like Peter just got the symbiote and he has no other option than to fight these guys. But in my opinion, I think he got the symbiote a lot earlier, and that could have been a potential choice to rather wear the blue suit or the red and blue suit, or of course the black suit, and you just burst out with whatever suit you chose. It completely overtakes the red and blue suit if you choose the symbiote suit. I think something along those lines could happen, but that's 100% a hint that we could be able to do that on our own within the game whenever we want. And it's so cool to see that kind of play out on the cutscene, because I know in the game it's probably going to be a lot smoother, where you just like push a button, it's not going to do like a 5-second, you know, transition. It's going to be instant. So I think that they've already kind of confirmed it in many ways. They haven't told us everything about what the HUD is, and the fact that they didn't show us that before and they're not explaining it makes me very suspicious. I think that that is exactly what we think it is. I am 100% certain that that feature is going to be in the game, and I really am excited to see how that kind of plays upon different aspects of the game, because potentially speaking, if you're going throughout the side missions, they could have you have different dialogue with 3 different types of dialogue. They can have the red and blue suit, the Miles types of dialogue where you get to play as Miles in those side missions, and then the symbiote suit dialogue where Peter's a little bit more agitated, a little bit more dickheadish. And I think all of those options are perfect. It's so incredible to be able to go throughout this world with different Spider-Man or different types of variations of a Spider-Man, like the Symbiote suit Spider-Man, and play with those side missions and those different side characters and see how they react to the symbiote. Because again, if they have side missions that involve like villains and whatnot, and they force you to rather wear the red and blue suit after the game, or they force you to wear the black suit during the game, in my opinion, that's going to be a little bit limiting, right? It's going to be like, damn, I wish I could see the other side. And I feel like they know that. I think Insomniac understands that we want to see both sides of the symbiote in the red and blue suit with those different villains and throughout different story aspects too. I don't think that they're going to fumble the bag in that regard, especially when they have Web of Shadows to kind of play off of, because Web of Shadows really is the inspiration here. Like when you look at Web of Shadows, it's literally just a symbiote game, and they can take so much from that, from the symbiote aspect, from all of those gameplay aspects, from switching and whatnot, even the dialogue options. Even though I'm gonna be 100% honest, I think that Web of Shadows is a little bit overrated, and that people need to go back and kind of look at what the fuck they were playing, because that shit was horrible. The story was garbage, bro. Okay, but Insomniac has a little bit more of a nuanced way of storytelling that isn't just, where's MJ? Where is she?
Where's Cage and his search party? The civilian volunteers! Pretty redhead, armed and aghast! You are no help!
Hold that APC! We got vehicles inbound!
MJ!
Like shit like that. And I think that they could really pull off and multiple options type of the dialogue. Not even like multiple options that change the fate of the game, just multiple dialogue options, and not even saying like Mass Effect level, Telltale level dialogue option choices, not fucking Detroit Become Human type of dialogue options. You know what I mean? I want to see something that's very subtle. It's literally like red and blue suit Peter or black suit Peter, and that's it. That's the only dialogue changes I want to see, and the only types of choices that I really want to see is you being able to choose between those two versions of Peter Parker. So there's a lot that they can do in this game. There's a lot that they can really pull from previous Spider-Man games, especially Web of Shadows, and I really hope that they do this hidden mechanic, because it's very hidden. Like, they have not confirmed that we're going to be able to switch between the red and blue suit and the symbiote suit, and I'm okay with that. I think they're going to keep that as a surprise, but I also think that if my last video is correct about Game Informer, I think that we could potentially see that in the next month of course, Game Informer. They can really reveal a lot about how the symbiote works. They can show us exactly what that logo is there for, because Miles doesn't have it, and the only thing that Miles really has that's similar to that is his camouflage, which of course is very interesting because they're both like switching types of costumes in many ways. So of course Miles has his camouflage to run around enemies. Peter has a symbiote to kind of fucking brutalize them. So there's a lot that they can do in those regards, and I think that they could show that in the Game Informer next month. They could explain all that away and kind of show us exactly what it is, and I'm very excited to see if they do that next month. But overall, if they keep it as a surprise, I'm also excited for that. I really hope that this is something that they do. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below, and thank you guys for watching. Peace out.